Okay, let's get stuck in then to the feature race. Like I say, it's the 205 at Chepstow. It's the Coral Welsh National. And Frank, take us away with a show of Paddy Power betting, if you would.
Yeah, Mystery is our favourite at 7-1. Beware the Bear, Chase the Spud, Wild West Wind are 8-1. Vintage Clouds 9-1. Final Nudge, Ask the Weatherman 10-1. Pobbles Bay, Bishop's Road, Milan's Bar 12-1, and we're 14-1 bar. And we're I think we're going to be 5 places on this as well.
Excellent news. Keels, who's going to win it?
Don't know. It's one of those races, you know.
DJ?
No. You've got 20 runners. You know that half at the very most will finish the race. It's all going to be about rhythm. You make a mistake at a fence there and get stopped in your track, you've got to pick yourself up.
Is there a couple of fences going to be left out? Isn't there?
I don't know. I didn't read about that, but it wouldn't be the biggest surprise in the world. But it's going to be hard work, and we've got a favourite, Mr. E, who goes well fresh, but running in one of the most gruelling races of the season, and one that hasn't been won for at least 40 years by a horse first time out. So, you know, good luck to those of you if you want to back Mr. E. But even though he does go well fresh, I couldn't back him. One I've landed on now is Pobbles Bay, who I thought he won over Christmas in 2016 in a novice chase there at Chepstow. It just looks like he's been laid out for the race. He ran over 2.5 mile at Aintree, made a mistake earlier, never really got in the race. But I think he likes really bad ground. He was second to Flintham in a 3 mile 2 furlong heavy ground Warwick battle over hurdles a couple of years ago. And I think he'll go well. I'm becoming interested in Milan's Bar, who was third to Wild West Wind at the course last time, and was running on really strongly at the death. He's a real stayer. I think he's been second in the Midlands National to Firebird Flyer, another one who sneaked in at the bottom and was second a couple of years ago. He interests me. If you take jockeys into account, he's £7 better off for 2 3/4 lengths, and he's the horse that was really finishing. So there'd be my 2 against the field. But you know, even money that both of them will get around.
And you'd have to expect that Pobbles Bay's jockey will absolutely make sure that he knows if there are any fences missing. Adam Wedge, he's not going to get caught out this
absolutely.
time,
Yeah. I mean, we were saying 21 days is a lot, isn't it? You know?
I think 21 days for missing out a fence when they've been dolling them off and blocking them off for either sun or wet, compared to a guy riding and finish a lap early only getting 12.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem,
flat race, it just
doesn't seem right
make
to
sense,
me.
Does it?
Seem right to me.
You need some consistency, don't you?
Absolutely. DJ, what's your view of the Coral Welsh National?
Yeah, that was an absolute disgrace, like an absolute disgrace. But anyway, but when this race was obviously supposed to be on the 27th of December, I had a real quandary because there was I could only see 2 horses winning the race, and they were Rock the Casbah and Mystery. And I suppose I was devastated that Rock the Casbah wasn't declared. That he would have been my first choice. But
yeah,
now
it would have been mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought he'd a touch of class. But now that he's gone, Frank is going to hate me here because I'm going to steal his thunder. But I'm really keen on Mystery here. I know Paul has rightly said it's going to be very hard to win this race first time out. But you have to look at the flip side of that. Is he won first time out in 2013. He won first time out the following season by 32 lengths at Wetherby. He won first time out in 2016 at Haydock. He won the Eider after 7 weeks off. He's won twice on heavy and 3 times on soft. He's only £5 higher than when he was second in the Midlands National. Chase's Spud is £19 higher. And he's been trained for the race. Michael Scudamore was out of form, but he had a winner over Christmas. I just think it all collaborates together, and it's going to take some performance to beat Mr. E.
OK, and Frank, is that chime with what you say as well?
It's very much so. He stole my thunder. But some stats I wanted to give in this race. In the last 10 years, only 3 horses have carried more than 11 stone. And they were Native River, who carried top weight, who was subsequently placed at a Gold Cup. Synchronized carried 11 stone 6, won a Gold Cup. And Notre Pierre carried 11 stone in 2008, and he won a Grade 1 at Punchestown afterwards. So it'll give you some kind of insight into what kind of horse you need to carry a large weight in this race. You need a graded horse. And looking at the field and the horses carrying over 11 stone, I'd be almost shocked if any of them are graded, Grade 1 winners in waiting. So for that reason, I came to Mystery. He was my fancy in the original race. I can't see any reason to abandon him. I think if you fancy Chase the Spud, you have to have a look at Mystery. And I'll give you the reason why. First time out for Mick Scudamore last November in Haydock. He beat Chase the Spud 1.5 lengths, but on that occasion, I think he was getting £10. He ended up getting beaten by him at Uttoxeter in the Midlands National. He beat him by 3.5 lengths in the Haydock, but then in the Midlands National, he was beaten 1.5 lengths, but he was giving Chase the Spud £3 that day. Now he's getting £10 off Chase the Spud. I think he's absolutely nailed on to finish the race and to give it a good lash. He's got Robbie Dunn, who's one of the informed jockeys for this type of race on board, and I can't see him not going close. He's an ideal type for this race. He carries 10 stone 13, so he's underneath the 11 stone bracket. And then one of the big price I thought would go well was Alfie Spinner for Kerry Lee. He ran that trial that Paul was mentioned earlier behind Wild West Wind with Milan's Baron third. He was running on strongly as well that day. It looked like he'd really appreciate the extra trip that he's going to get here. He relishes the testing going. Richard Patrick claims £5 off. Richard Johnson wrote him the last day. Kerry Lee, of course, the family have a tremendous record in the race, winning it 3 times, twice with the dad Richard and once with Kerry. I think he's a 25-1, and he's a horse I could easily see running into a place.
And
but it's
Frank, will you be having a small bet, a medium-sized bet, or a big bet on Mystery?
I suppose relatively somewhere about medium. It won't be like Coney Island or something kind of lump job, but yeah, it'll be a decent bet at the same time, and I'll have a small bit each way in Alfie Spinner. They'll be playing with 5 places. I think he's got a great chance of placing, and 25-1 is more than fair price. Richard Patrick as well is 21% for Kerry Lee, which is actually quite a good strike rate for a claimer like that. So yeah, I think he's sure to run a decent race as well at a decent price.
And talking about Coney Island, I haven't spoke to you since before Christmas. That cookie has crumbled very nicely for us, hasn't it? We're looking good there, aren't we?
It's roll on the Gold Cup now at this stage. It's all really working out. Even if you look at Annabelle Fly winning the Paddy Power and Road to Respect winning the Leopardstown Chase, they were both behind him in the Drinmore. And to be honest, I'm very excited. I've talked to someone who knows the Harties, and they're very excited. And the Gold Cup can't come quick enough, in my opinion.
Excellent. Well, before that, we've got the 135 at Chepstow on Saturday. It's the Coral Future Champions Finale Juvenile Hurdler a race that's been won in the last 3 years by Bristol Demai and Defi de Soy. And we've got a potentially very smart horse here, and We Have a Dream, who's third favourite with Paddy Power for the Triumph Hurdle. And he's a fairly strong favourite for this, Frank, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's 4-5. Sussex Rangers 3-1. Famous Millie 5-1. Mercenaire 13-2, and Staff College is 100-1.
And we'll stick with you, Frank. Penalty kick for the Fav?
He should win. He's definitely the horse with most ability. He's been very impressive in 2 runs so far. My one worry would be his 2 runs to date at Warwick and Doncaster were on good to soft ground. Now it's going to be absolutely awful here in Chepstow tomorrow. It would be the one concern I have. He's run on soft ground in France, but like he didn't win any of those 3 races, so it'll just be a slight concern. But like he's definitely the horse with most ability. As a betting proposition of 4-5, he probably wouldn't be for me, Bruce.
So you'll watch this one, will you? Oh, you might have a bet, yeah?
If I was going to have a bet, the only thing I know is that Nicky Henderson, surprisingly enough for the wealth of talented juveniles hasn't won this race in the last 10 years. He hasn't had too many runners now, but I think it's because he doesn't really have those kind of slogger type juveniles. They're more a bit classy speedier types, and maybe this race is more of a slog. And for that reason, Nick Williams is the exact opposite, where he's won this race a couple of times in the last 10 years, and he doesn't throw too many darts at the race either. And his Mercenaire, while it didn't beat much the first day at Exeter, it did win by 25 lengths on soft ground, and it just kept going. It has plenty of find with the Fav, but as a token bet, he'd probably want to have a small bit on, or perhaps even just bet in the without market. I think the Sussex Ranger is very much overhyped. The Sandown race was a load of shite, if you ask me. The second, Cote Taquan or something, was well beaten in a very poor race at Fontwell subsequently, and I would fancy the Nick Williams horse to beat that. But We Have a Dream. If he can win in heavy ground, he's a live player in the Triumph, because he looks really good. OK, Mercenaire is 13-2 with Paddy Power. DJ, have you got a strong view on this one?
I kind of do. I'm going to say something that I never thought I'd ever say in my life, but I think Robbie Dunn might be able to win the 2 big races, including a Grade 1. He's riding Famous Millie for Gavin Cromwell here. I actually spoke to Gavin at Leopardstown after Chepstow was called off over Christmas, and I said, are you happy or sad that it's called off? And he goes, no, for 2 reasons I'm delighted. He said, I needed to get one more good gallop into Famous Millie. She was just a gallop short. And he said that hopefully it'll rain even more and it'll be even more bottomless by the time the race comes around, because this filly just wants it absolutely unraceable, and that's what it's going to be tomorrow. Like, she won on heavy ground at Listowel, and Listowel's heavy ground is completely different to any ground anywhere in the world. It's far worse than Chepstow is going to be tomorrow. She's going to handle this. You go into her Aintree success where she beat Malaya by 17 lengths and you kind of say to yourself, do you know what, that was a shocking race and it kind of fell apart. But when you actually go through the form, Grey Waters was hammered, was finished beating 158 lengths. Grey Waters came out in the Grade 2 at Leopardstown over Christmas, only beaten 7 lengths by Espoir de Len. So the form of that race mightn't be as bad as we thought at the time. And she absolutely destroyed them. She just loves that ground. I can't believe she's 5-1. She mightn't be just as classy as We Have a Dream, but she's certainly the second best horse in the race. So perhaps people should maybe back her without, but there's no way she should be 5-1, and she will certainly swim through that mud.
OK, the boys are keen to take on the Jolly, Kills. What's your approach?
Yeah, I'm keen to take it on, and I think there's probably at least 2 that might be able to beat We Have a Dream. If it doesn't handle the ground, then We Have a Dream won't be coming anywhere, and those defeats on soft ground do make you worry. This is going to be really bad ground. I like Famous Millie. I don't even remember on Boxing Day, Lizzie Kelly was on ITV. She was talking up the chances of Mercenaire. Then they really like the horse, and obviously they know that it really wants bad ground. I don't quite know what to make of Sussex Ranger, but I know a lot of Speed Figures boys are all over him, telling him, about how fast he ran in comparison to other horses on the day, and but he's got to prove it on soft ground. But I'll take one of the 2, Famous Millie or Mercenaire, probably leaning just towards Mercenaire, and I might lay We Have a Dream for 2 places at a really short price.
OK, thank you.
And before we leave Chepstow,
yes,
if Emperor's Choice gets round in the Welsh National, I mean, does he deserve a round of applause or what? He only ran 7 days ago. Absolute slog through that bog at Haydock, and he's back out.
They can do, though, can't they, Kills?
Like,
They can do. You kind of feel, well, there's no chance possibly, but we've seen
he should be lying down for a month, shouldn't
I know,
he?
I know.
They finish so slowly, but there he is, and he's a past winner as well.
So do you think you'll get involved?
A
little token chip on the table.
The amount of sentimental bets I have, I'll be absolutely broke every single month. Like, what I mean? So,
you old softy.
Subscribe to Members Club Ultimate and access unlimited video replays from all 86 racecourses in Britain and Ireland.